hot. Yeah, she's a warm one, guys. I just love it. I just love it. This is kind of bee making weather, you know. So if you're a beekeeper, you gotta love it. Now, something else you may love. You guys slipped in here and caught me, yeah, goofing around again. Didn't you? Messing around. You caught me messing around. You're always sneaking up on me, old Steve-O. Yes, I want to show you the latest on this thing here. I got enough room for 4 of them frames in there, and this one's got 11 like I showed you. So put a water bowl in there, a little ceramic water bowl, and it's a wet sponge in there, and I added more water to it. I went out and bought these bulbs, by the way. If you go this route with a 40 water, they're getting scarce. I found a hardware, Do It Best hardware that's got them. So I bought 4 of them, 40 waters. So my plan is, you know, people are saying, you know, Steve-O, it's going to burn out on you, and then you're going to lose all your queens. I think you can get a solid month, probably even more, out of a bulb. And once you start seriously grafting and making queens, these bulbs aren't that expensive. Just pull it out of there every month. First of the month, say, right? First of the month, throw you in a brand new one. Throw that one in this trash bag, okay? Or throw it in a pile. I don't know if there's any place in the house we use 40s on it. Mostly are 60s. But this thing, guys, is working out fantastic. I came out here the other morning, and it was 74 degrees, and it took 20 minutes. I got this little outside temp. Right now it's 94.8, so it's too hot in here to test drive this thing. But I did it the other morning. It was 74 degrees in this barn. So plugged her in. I had a little farm chores to do around here, and I kept popping in, taking a peek at the temperature, and it took roughly 20 minutes to get this thing to peak. And once it peaked, it shut down, and then I came by. It was about good, I don't know, it was a good 20 minutes before this thing started clicking down, okay? And it took at least 10 minutes to click down to 93, kick back in, and it took 10 minutes to go back to 9.4 to click out. So I would say this thing's dialed in great. There's going to be a new AC unit in this window hole right here tomorrow. Home Depot's delivering me a little 6,000 unit. It's going in the hole, which we're only going to use it for one run. I mean, run of cells. I think I'm going to try to graft on the 17th if the, you know, good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. We will graft, and I'll just put in 2 bars. I'll just put in 2 bars. 30 cells is all I'm going to do. I'm going to make up a nice fat little cell starter finisher and leave them all in that makeup. I've got a nice fat hive on the other site. I'm going to go in there and dig in and find that queen and leave her on that site with just a small bit of resource. I'm going to steal everything else she's got, and that way she can have the field force coming back. And then when I get back here, I'll set up that queenless deal. I'm going to try to do that 4 or 5 days before I try to graft, and that way hopefully they'll start some cells in there and I can rob some royal jelly. That's the plan anyway. And because I want to try to wet graft instead of dry. I've had better luck in the past doing wet graft. So yeah, that's what I'll do, and then just do the 1 round, and after 10 days I'll take my cells and put them in here. We'll load this thing up with whatever we get, you know, whatever we yield off of those 30 cells. Normally I have ran as much as 90% on my grafts. If you take your time and you know, you don't rush it, and everything, and make sure you got hot towel to lay over your grafts as you graft. Don't have a fan blowing on you. It'll dry those larvae out. So anyway, I got this little project here finished up. Basically, this thing's ready for cells. I mean, you talk about a sweet little setup here. And you can take a flashlight and come on in here. You don't have to open the door. You can come in here and grab your flashlight and look and see who's hatching in here, right? You don't need to open the door and drop the temperature on them or whatever. I saw on Craigslist yesterday, I just went in for giggles to see, because I've had people ask me, where'd you get that thing? How did you get it? Well, you can get them on Craigslist. They're all over Craigslist, and I looked at some of the Craigslist ads those guys are running on things. They've been in there for 20 days or more. Well, that's a seller that's motivated, let's say. You know, when you see an ad up there that's been in there for 20 plus days and it hasn't moved. These things, I think the guy told me he paid $125 for this thing off the shelf. So yeah, he had it priced at 50 and I got it for 40. And because I told him what I was going to do. I'm going to rip it apart, so that all the goodies that are in there is coming out. I'm going to put new goodies in, so I don't want to spend a lot of money. But I figure, what the heck, you couldn't build this box, guys, with all this insulation, a nice door, and this windows double glass here. You couldn't build that thing. You'd have $100 in this thing fooling around trying to get it right with everything. So it's a nice, sweet little unit. But the unit I saw in there was about this much, higher than this one. And it was a freebie. There was a freebie on Craigslist, and it looked about this wide. And so yeah, they're out there. And then there was others in there for sale. I've seen several of them were $90. I've seen several in there for $50. So you guys can go out there and find these things, I'm sure, if you do a little hunting. Also, you could contact any liquor store, go in a liquor store and say, hey, tell them what you're doing. Tell them I want to try to get a hold of your wine salesman. And these wine salesmen, my son, he's got a good buddy that is a wine salesman. And he said, I wish I would have known Steve wanted one of these, because he said, I think I got 2 of them. But anyway, I called him back, or my son back. I said, he still got him. He said, he's got one. And I don't know if it works or not, but it doesn't matter. I don't need another one. This thing will do me forever here. I mean, I could put so many cells in this thing's ridiculous. I could actually put more cells down here on the floor in there, you know, with cages down there. I can make them up there, and there's a shelf in the back there. I can put more back there. So as this is, if I rig this up with these cages here, I went to the hardware store this morning and got this little rig here, and I got this. It was thick. All he had was this thicker wall pipe, but it worked out perfect. And that little piece of tubing right there is 1.5 inches. 1.5 inches, and it actually goes down inside. These little portions here, without distorting them, will slip into the mouth of this, as you can see right there. Just a little, you don't have to distort it or nothing, you just push it just slightly. And that thing is held in there really nice and tight. And then I cut it. I didn't want to bring the tubing clear up there, so there is, you know, some light there, some breathing action there on that cell. So yeah, that's that thing worked out slick, guys. It really did. She worked out slick. It's going to be a good deal. Now, I've got something else out here I got to show you. You may like it. I don't know. Follow me. Okay, guys. Here in Florida, we got a problem child. Several problem childs, actually. We don't have much of a skunk problem. That's a good thing. But we got things called bull ants, which are carpenter ants, and fire ants and everything else. So they're a real nuisance. So here's some. I didn't really invent this, okay? What I'm about to show you. I actually seen it. I seen it actually in the Man Lake catalog. I was thumbing through there, and I saw that. And I said, "Hey, look at that! Isn't that cool?" So I'm trying to think, what can I use to do that? And here's what we got. Those rods right there are your. They come 4 foot long. Get them at Tractor Supply. They're used for putting in electric fencing in. Now this whole rig here, okay, it's got a little movement to it, but I think this thing would take a lot of wind. These are 8 foot long, these plywoods. This underneath one is 4 feet long, here to there. So I just took a sheet with a grain pattern, you know, running with it, and whacked off two 8 inch slivers. 8 inches are those boards. My nooks here, 2-frame nooks, are only 5 inches wide. That's made with 3/4 material. This is actually 2x4. You've seen that movie before, me making these. Yeah, this is a 2x4 in here. So, yeah, because it's 3.5 inches. You're 3.5 inches on the inside of here. So a spruce stud, a nice clean spruce stud will work great in there for that. This particular one here was made with some scab wood I had. Yeah, this was made some scab wood I had, because there's a glue joint in here. But you can just use a regular spruce stud and cut them. I forget the measurement on the inside here. Let's do a quickie here. Yeah, 10 inches. It's 10 inches high. And my cut on that is 3/4 down and 3/4. Just split the difference, because you're working with a stud. See, it's 1.5 inches wide, thick rather. So yeah, see, here's some ants here. Those are little black sugar ants. But what you can do with this rig here, this is very quick and simple. I just cut that. I put 3 screws down through there. I bored a 3/8 hole. These rods are 3/8, and once you bore the hole, I bored it way up into here with a 3/8 bit, and I wallowed it out a little bit so these rods go in, so I don't have to fight it so much, you know. But these guys will sit here, and I'm thinking just take a cordless drill where you throw this plywood, this runner on top of this one, zap 2 screws in it. See, that will take out a lot. See, it's rocking right there, right? I think this thing will take a lot of wind. I've got about a 25-mile-an-hour wind right here today, as you can see, blowing through here, 15 to 20. This thing ain't moving. I mean, it's moving a little bit there, but it's not going to move much. I think you could take a 40, 50-mile-an-hour wind with this box, just sitting on this thing right here. Now, what you can do too is take Tanglefoot, that ooey gooey, sticky, nasty stuff, Tanglefoot, and smear it up about 4 inches on the bottom of this thing. Just don't get that stuff on your hands, and if you do, make sure you got some baby oil. That's about the only thing I found that'll cut that nasty stuff. It just sticks right with you. But yeah, what do you think, guys? I mean, you could stick a lot of, I could stick a lot of them in here around. Yeah, I've got some spots in the forest here. I could put them. I don't like working bees in a you know, jungle canopy, but you know, this back here out of the way, I don't mow this. I don't mow this back here. I just run around here with a weed eater. So that's a little quick trick for today, guys. Just thought I'd throw some more stuff out there at you. Because I'm your mentor and your motivator. Build about 10,000 of these, okay? Would that be okay? All right, guys. Get energetic. Let's get her done. See you later. Bye-bye.